Well, according to a recent report here at Fox, Republican Party leaders have a secret plan to win the 2018 midterms. Instead of telling voters what they would do with another 2 years in office, they've decided to run once again against Hillary Clinton, the former Democratic nominee. It worked last time. The idea is it'll work again. The appeal is obvious. Nobody really likes Hillary Clinton, even people who are paid to pretend they like her. The downside is it's not really a relevant argument. Hillary Clinton doesn't run anything anymore. She doesn't represent the modern Democratic Party. They've moved on to another planet. And that's the point. Democratic leaders are now saying things far more extreme than anything a Midwestern Methodist like Hillary Clinton ever would have said or thought. They become openly bigoted, for example, blaming an entire ethnic group for the country's problems. They've called for eliminating our country's borders, the right to self-defense, even the distinction between male and female. They're at war with nature and with common sense. And by the way, they're agitating for an actual war against Russia. They are insane. Some of them are dangerous, and somebody ought to run against them, not against the ghost of some elderly retired nominee from last cycle. Yet somehow the Republicans in Congress say they're not going to do that. Are they? We have someone to tell us. Congressman Jim Jordan is a Republican who represents the proud state of Ohio, and he joins us tonight. Congressman, thank you for coming.
You bet. Good to be with you.
So, look, I don't want to poo-poo the idea of running against Hillary. I love doing Hillary segments. Yeah. They're hilarious. They're a little mean, but it's fun. But the Democratic Party of right now is not the party of Hillary Clinton.
Right.
It's an openly extremist, racist party, I would argue. And I think it's obvious that Republicans in opposition should run against them, but why aren't they?
Well, I think what I would say is let's run for what we told them we were going to do in 16. Let's run on what we've accomplished. And I would argue 17 was a good year. Regulations were down, the taxes have been lowered, the economy was growing, ISIS is backpedaling, the embassy's gone to Jerusalem, Gorsuch is on the court. That was a pretty darn good year.
Really? People voted to move the embassy to Jerusalem?
Well, all I'm saying is there are lots of Republicans who think that being our best friend and ally in the Middle East, Israel, doing something like that makes sense. After all, every other capital in the world, that's where your embassy is.
Look, I'm not against it. I mean, I don't care.
All I'm saying is 17 was a pretty good year. So far this year, we haven't been doing what we said. This spending bill we passed 4 weeks ago was not what we're supposed to be doing. So let's do what never hurts to keep your promises. Never hurts to do what you told them you were going to do and go run on that and run against what the left, the hard left, is pushing in their party. I think that's the winning message.
So if you had a political party that literally wanted to eliminate the differences between men and women and pretend that nature wasn't real.
Yeah, run against that. I'm all for it.
I haven't ever heard a Republican say, actually, men and women are different. That's a biological fact. And when you pretend otherwise, you destroy society.
Marriage should be what marriage has always been. Life should be protected.
Not even
all
marriage.
Those things.
Like, the Democrats have gotten to the point where they are attacking people, trying to get them fired from their jobs for acknowledging there are biological differences between the sexes. Why do Republicans not make...
And they're going on college campuses, not letting people, conservatives, Christians, they're anti-Semitic stuff on college. They're stopping all those kind of things. Attacking the First Amendment. I think we should camp. We had Ben Shapiro, Adam Carolla come in a committee that I get the privilege of chairing, talking about what's going on college campuses, how radical it is, how anti-Semitic it is, how anti-Christian it is, how anti-conservative it is, and how anti-basic fundamental beliefs it is. So I'm all for that as well. But let's go do what we told them we were going to do, what they elected us to do in November of 2016, and let's show that contrast with what the radical left is pushing.
So I
agree.
Really, the 2016 election, if you could isolate one promise, obviously be the wall.
Of course. And we need to do that.
And that's been the one consistently ignored by Republicans in Congress. Like, we just had this massive spending bill, no wall.
We funded things in that bill we said we wouldn't. We didn't fund things we said, namely the wall. It was a $1.3 trillion bill that we had 15 hours to look at, 2,232 pages. And guess how long the debate was? 1 hour. 1 hour debate. We go home for Easter recess after that. We come back. We have 4 hours to debate a 3-page bill, balanced budget amendment, which is a great idea, but something everyone knows is not going to get through the Congress and become law. We debate that for 4 hours. That's what drives American voters crazy. They're like, really? No wonder they're cynical about Capitol Hill, cynical about Congress, cynical about what they see at this place. So that's the kind of stuff that has to change, because, again, it's not consistent with what we... Let's actually fund the things we said we would, like the wall, and not fund things like Planned Parenthood, give them your tax dollars. That's ridiculous. We should stop that.
Why would, I don't want you to beat up on the speaker on his way out, but how do we wind up with a spending bill that funded Planned Parenthood for $500 million?
I don't know. You know what happened? We took 3 amendments. This is how bad it's gotten. We took 3 amendments to the Rules Committee the night before that vote. One of them was to deal with the Planned Parenthood issue. And all 3 amendments were not made in order. And you know why they weren't made in order? Because they would have passed. They would have passed on the House floor.
So whose response? Who did that?
That comes from the leadership telling the Rules Committee you can't make these things in order because actually they would pass on the floor.
So Paul Ryan is more for Planned Parenthood than for the wall.
No, all I'm saying is he's more for getting something through that the swamp likes, mainly the United States Senate, because the argument is, oh, if you make those amendments in order, they will pass, the bill will go to the Senate, and they won't pass it. Well, I'm tired of that. Let's have the debate. And we were so poised to win, Tucker. Chuck Schumer shut down the government over a weekend over amnesty, and the American people said, we don't think that's a smart idea. We were poised to win. Instead, we did what the swamp always does. We spent more money on everything.
And gave Google a tax cut. Perfect. Congressman, thank you for that. I appreciate it.